we are doing the will of our true self, we are inevitably doing the will of the universe. In magic, these are seen as indistinguishable. That every human soul is in fact one human soul. It is the soul of the universe itself. And as long as you are doing the will of the universe, then it is impossible to do anything wrong.
There is this connection between everybody and his total environment.
Hi, shalom, welcome, Mary Lupercalia. Hopefully everyone finds a good blood orgy to attend to this evening. Make sure there's no dog or goat sacrifices, because what year is it, you know? Yes, thanks for showing up. This is the inaugural one. This is a new venture, a new project to become, I don't know, somewhat of a better broadcaster, a better orator, be more dexterous with my words, my communications, my brain chemistry, to document everything from, you know, my divergent magical praxis to interacting with all you lovely folks. And I know we've been kind of in a dour place for a lot of us, getting over the loss of Jiggy. I did not intend for my first public stream back to be one where I am crying on stream, but you know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. So in the spirit of Jiggy, we will say, hey, 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 smoke weed every day. I am also streaming to Twitch for the first time, I think, and the dreaded Facebook. So let me know, you know, which ones you guys prefer to watch. Like I said, this is all just an experiment. And thank you, Jonacide, for being here. Thank you, Jet Petty. Good to see you. Michelle, Sayroth. Hey, brother. Hope you're well. Jilly, love you. Good to see everyone. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I just wanted to take this time. You know, I'm going to be somewhat short. I decided I would do these midday when my brain is kind of focused and more alert, and without the social anxiety inhibiting use of alcohol, which I am continuously trying to quell. Because I don't know what happened in the past few months, but I've been having, you know, this mental dysmorphia, this strange stage fright and social anxiety. I think I've always dealt with social anxiety, and so, you know, the social lubricant of alcohol would quell that, and you know, it became something where I was kind of hinging on it for streaming. And yeah, I think it's just better exhibited. This project is better suited for a midday, early me before rushing to work sort of conversation. And yeah, if I say you know, this is a game we'll play, because I'm trying to squash this. If I ever say you know, put a 1 in the chat to remind me I said it. Because I have a lot of vocal disfluencies as well, and I'm trying to quash those. So help me get rid of these annoying little inflections that I have. As most of you know, I've been pretty apparent in the Patreon realm. I don't know what happened. I think I got pretty worn out by a lot of the drama on YouTube, and it kind of put me in a safe place, a safe zone to work behind a paywall. And as most of you patrons know, I've been documenting a lot, you know, of the rough and tumble of mental health, of all the struggles that I've been going through. And through this kind of convergence with therapy and getting on new meds and being very diligent about mental health, I've kind of, I don't know, I've come to this realization that the only way through is through. And to kind of not hold my self-image so sacred. You know, I was putting out records all the time. I was putting out podcasts all the time. And then something happened where I needed to be a bit more secretive or less public about it. And that has a lot to do with my own insecurities, a lot of newfound issues that I was having, struggles. But I think that I need to refine my love for broadcasting, to refine my love for being a documentarian through art and through conversation. And so hopefully these daily streams kind of work with that majesty of communing. Also, Patreon users know that there's a big plan on the horizon. And I also want to use this space to discuss maybe some advice for me, to be completely selfish, about this plan to get land, acquire land, and live somewhat off grid. And that plan isn't just a long stretch dream anymore. It's actually coming to fruition, and it's coming to fruition quite quickly, thanks to the efforts of my dear friend, business partner, and Raging Cajun, Logan. And yeah, so we're kind of learning this as we go. And I want to open up the floodgates to talk about everything from aquaponics to, you know, earthship building to yurts and wood fire stoves. I've had the pleasure of talking to people like, you know, Steve Cambion offline about his work with the cabin and, you know, some advice here and there. And I know a lot of us are in these dredges of where we are because of what happened the past couple of years and having to find our place, our footing again within the megapolis that is city life. And a lot of us are retreating. And I think I realize that I'm on this consistent treadmill that will never stop. It will never cease. And I just can't play this game because my whole point in life was to customize everything, and I can't do that within the, you know, the qualms and the struggles of this inner city turmoil that a lot of us are suffering through right now. So maybe it'll be inspirational to some. Who knows? This whole project could end up. I mean, this one right here, this daily stream could end up in a horrendous dumpster fire. Don't sue me for using that term, CW. But we will see. We're just going to do this. And so I wanted to talk and, you know, kind of commune with the chat. Again, if I say you know, put a 1 in chat. Yeah, Jilly, the struggle is real. I just realized today, that I can highlight chats, comments on StreamYard. I'm still learning all of these basics here. Yes, thank you for coming, Sam. Big love to you. I talk to Sam on the regular, and she's always been just a complete, sweet, amazing human being to call a friend. And she told me something yesterday. I think it was kind of offhanded, but it really stuck with me. And it was, yeah, Keats, you got to love yourself. And so I'm on the journey too. We'll just put it that way. Yes, Stevie Keats, you have a lot of support on his side, dude. People appreciate you. Yeah, and thank you for that. It really means a lot. And I think because I was cowering away or was being silent like a wounded dog, finding their way to a covered pasture to die alone, you know, I was too secretive. Thank you for putting a 1 in the chat, Jill. Yeah. Thank you. I'm trying to quash these vocal disfluencies, so it'll be a game. Self-love is what the vampires want. Hell yeah. And Michelle, you know, please let us know if you know of any good blood orgies for Lupercalia this evening. Vegan ones, as you've mentioned. Yes. Okay. Self-love is what the vampires want to drain. Yes, I agree. I agree, but I'm always going to be the worst critic of myself, and I think that came to a head finally, where I just had to bust through and tell myself to shut up and to be vocal about this project. This I know I keep calling it a journey. I think Sam says here, you do keep down that journey. It's one worth following. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and I really appreciate everyone being here. Hopefully, this will add momentum. We'll keep chatting. We'll keep discussing. I'll have topics throughout the week. It's something that I'm learning to look forward to because I love talking with everyone, and it keeps me accountable. It does. It keeps me accountable in a way of discussing what's happening during the day. Now, in Divergent Magic, I have this, this processes of treating the day as a ritual, and in the morning, it's a lot of that like liminal time before the ritual is actually being exercised. And I think this would in a way, take this as intention setting and being vocal into the digital ether as intention setting, discussing what's happening, talking about plans and all of that. Let's see. Well, today I feel hollow, but give me some time to fill up again. I know, Johnny, I'm so sorry about everyone's loss. I really realized I don't take death well, and it's ironic because I've been accused of being obsessed with it by ex-girlfriends and family members. But I think it's just more of this childhood kind of fascination with it and the mysticism and the sheer wonderment, because it is the great equalizer. No one fucking knows what happens after we're dead. That's a complete constant. And if you say you do, I don't believe you. Not until you are. And Jiggy knows now. So I think that's wonderful. The Sixth Sense, yeah. Lived in the inner city and a few places myself. Some say it's fun, but then they never lived there. Stuck in the sticks now, and my mind is much more at ease. It's night and day. Yeah, I think it's part and parcel to intentional living too. Working a little harder to compost, working a little harder to grow your own vegetables, to cook. I need that. I need more of an intentional lifestyle rather than this humdrum low hum of city life. And yeah, it's just a game that's always been a revelation. I've always known that later in my life I would return to somewhat of a simple, more nature-based thing. And through my work with outdoor education over the years and the things I've learned and the relationships that I've built within that community, it's just been part and parcel to me hoping to realize this. And now it feels like it's finally coming to fruition. I don't want to speak too much on details because, as my father used to say, I'd rather not be excited, so I'm pleasantly surprised, But it is happening. It is happening. Yeah, Jill, I'm sorry. Numb and disconnected, too much heartache. Yeah, and Ivan Reitman died too. I know that's nothing compared to Jiggy, who we knew and loved, but Ivan Reitman, did create the Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters was a huge thing in my life as a child, and so it feels like this just many eras closing and new things opening. Sam says the mysticism of death doesn't glorify something morbid, exactly, but rather celebrates the beauty of what it means to be alive. Absolutely, and I think that's and as I've said, this great equalizer. It's just this place we all return from when we think about the stresses of the day. We think about the grief and the loss and the pain that we all go through. We all realize that we're all heading to the same place, and we'll all find out in the end. And I always think it's beautiful listening to different theologies and folklores and stories of how people interpret that transition, whether it be the bardos of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or returning to the earth, and a lot of Anasazi and Zuni folklore. But I just it it gives me warmth, and it's never a morbid curiosity. It's never a dark kind of passenger of hoping for it or looking for it. It's always just been a beautiful story. Yeah, Michelle says she had a near death experience, so death is good, but the doorway, I don't know. Yeah, and I think, that old adage, death is for the living, right? Funerals are for the living. Marriages are for everyone else. It's like it's it's all of us that have to deal with the transition when the transition is an absolute to the one going through it. Um, Sixth Sense says, when my mother died, I thought I would be a wreck. The reality is I felt so much better knowing that she was relieved of the massive pain and discomfort she was in. I held her hand as she passed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's bringing up a lot of things, and I'm not sure I want to share right now, but thank you for this comment, and I wholeheartedly agree in my experiences. I will say that when I was younger, my best friend died of 2 different types of brain cancer at 26 years old. And the last year of his life was, he'd had to go through surgery after surgery, and he'd have to relearn how to write, how to read, and communicate. And at the end, he called me and he told me he was just ready to not put people through that anymore, and you know, uh, pass peacefully. I didn't know that was the last phone call I had with him, but it ended up being that way. And it wasn't by his own hand or anything. I think he was just his body just let him release finally. And yeah, it's bittersweet because you don't want people to suffer, but at the same time, you want them to be around. I had a witch tell me to use my own death as an oracle, but I haven't figured that out yet. Yeah, that's I think I'm dealing with that as well in this thing that I've been writing concerning Dakota Slim and the Bardos. It's in a way it's to kind of move through my own grief with loss, but also to, I don't know, um maybe construct or create an afterlife, right? To customize one, um with all the toils and tussles involved. And who knows, maybe that's what we go to. That's the imagination spectrum is what we come back into. So yeah, it's absolutely wonderful to meditate on and really put shit into perspective, right? It really does. And I think, with Jiggy's passing, with other passings, I think I forget sometimes that to hold the things that I've learned through each passing. And I want to not forget that anymore. It's also brought up a lot of things that I've learned before. I had joked that how many times am I going to learn that whiskey and grieving don't mix? And I think I learned finally. um, there's no need to be there's no need for self-immolation or self-combustion through grief. And I think it's a time just to maybe corner things and figure out things that help and hurt and work. Sixth Sense, yeah, she was the most lovely person I ever knew. And no, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Whew. Big and heavy, big and heavy. I like I said, I didn't mean to come back to the land of public streaming or public output with my Jiggy tribute video and cry on stream, but I couldn't. There's no other way to express it and to get it out there and to say your piece and to just let how it flow. And I think that in a way he gave me a wonderful way, and I hate to like make it about me. I'm not intending to make it about me, but what I gathered from my own construction of how I'm taking his death and moving forward was he allowed me the truth, to be completely vulnerable on his streams and to make an ass out of myself, to yell at people I was having grievances with. And to laugh and, be dark and dirty and funny and all that. And the only way I thought to give proper tribute was just to hit live and just be, just let whatever come. Keats, don't tell the Irish that. Well, I'm a Scottish Sicilian, so don't tell them that either. Thanks, Jill. I appreciate that. Yeah, so it's heavy machinations. I maybe we should talk a little bit about Valentine's Day, I guess, right? It's funny that it just happened to be this inaugural, stream was to be on Valentine's Day or Lupercalia. My partner's out of town, but we had a wonderful conversation on the phone early this morning. And I hope that if you have people in your life that you don't need a day to show them how much you love them, but maybe it's good to have the reminder. And if you don't, let's be inclusive for the single folks out there. And I'll say fuck Valentine's Day together. Yeah, Jiggy's mom. So Robin says Jiggy's mom said he was ready to go. So many hearts are broken. Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about with Sixth Sense. And my best friend in my 20s, it's almost this inherent or this innate knowing of it's time. And I can't even really fathom or put that into words. How to communicate that. Yeah, so rest in peace, Jiggy. Rest in power. Hey. Smoke weed every day. You about to learn. You about to do some learning today. Jonacide says, me and Renee are going out for Mexican in a bit, maybe after this, before the rush. Nice. I hope you have a lovely dinner out. And I hope to see you and Renee soon. She messaged me about maybe getting together one of these Sundays. February is always just such a crazy month. It's my partner's birthday in the beginning. There's, today. There's my birthday at the end. It's a short month. So, and then all the things that happen on top of that. So I hope that, we all can find the time to be together and be communicative and not do as I do and act like a wounded dog and go find somewhere dark to die. Which happens when I'm hurting, and it's not healthy. So, yep, broken hearts behind. I dropped my phone. I hope your phone's okay. But yeah, lots of stuff to unpack. I mean, yeah, sweet. Johnny says that him and his Jiggy shared a birthday. Yeah, my birthday is a couple days before Jiggy's. The memorial's at the end of this month. It's just, I was really hoping I could pull together and maybe fund a quick Boston trip that weekend, but I just don't think it's in the cards for me financially. We're all still finding our groove with my new employment and all the financial blah 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 that goes into this city, grime and grit. But if there was any time to pull it together, I thought it would be then. I just we'll see what the finances look like at the end of this week, because it'd be lovely to meet Robin and Smoke and Donia and Terry and everyone else. And just really sad I couldn't high five Jiggy in person. Oh yeah, let's get a puppy in here. Hey Zaro. Wait for it. Zaro, come here. Hey. Give me 1 second. There we go. Say hi, Zaro. He's my Valentine today. But yeah, we're doing good. Partner's been out of town. It's been a boys' weekend. Lots of long walks, lots of treats, and lots of cuddles. So Yeah, let me see what time it is because I will have to get out of here in 5 minutes. But I just want to say thank you, everybody. I know, yeah, he's tired. He already went for a long walk and ate this morning, and all he does is go crawl up in the sheets and wait for us. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. I think we covered a lot in a very short time, and it's my intention to do these a little bit shorter so that I can keep building upon them. Thank you everyone for coming, and please consider the Patreon. Consider subscribing to Twitch or Facebook or wherever else. All the stuff is in the description. And yeah, be sure to check out We the Hallowed. I know tomorrow Michelle is posting another one of her tarot columns, and I mean, it's gonna be a poignant one as always, but tomorrow seems like it's gonna be a doozy. I can feel it. So I hope everyone has a good Lupercalia. And as we say in We the Hallowed, the only way to achieve immortality is through art and ideas. So please love each other and haunt on.
When we are doing the will of our true self, we are inevitably doing the will of the universe. In magic, these are seen as indistinguishable. That every human soul is in fact one human soul. It is the soul of the universe itself. And as long as you are doing the will of the universe, then it is impossible to do anything wrong.
Between everybody and his total environment.
Some can come undone, the face is one, yes we want it. Of the creeping tongue that says that they are